He climbed over the balcony railing and reached his hand out into the open air, risking his life to find a signal while hordes of zombies swarmed below. He finally connected the call. It was his mother, but suddenly, he heard the terrifying sound of zombies breaking down the door. What followed were the helpless screams of his mother, father, and sister. In that instant, his heart sank into darkness. He shoved everything in the apartment to the ground, kicked the television violently, then swung the door open and stormed outside with a baseball bat. He lashed out at the zombies, blindly unleashing all his rage, grief, and helplessness. But when he snapped back to his senses, he realized he'd made a fatal mistake. The noise had drawn in an endless tide of zombies. They poured in from the stairwell and elevator, swarming toward him. Terrified, he ran for his life. Luckily, he knew the building well and managed to hide in a corner, holding his breath to avoid detection. A few days passed. Fires raged throughout the city. Power plants exploded one after another. The lights went out completely. The last source of illumination vanished. Utterly hopeless, the man decided he couldn't take it anymore. He tied a white rope, placed it around his neck, and was about to end his life. Just then, a red beam of light shone from a building across the way. Holy shit! There was another survivor. He immediately abandoned the thought of suicide. Dangling in the air, he struggled desperately until the rope snapped. Looking toward the light, he saw her, a living person, and a woman at that. He couldn't believe it and slapped himself for ever thinking of giving up. To avoid attracting zombies, they agreed to meet at dawn the next day. The girl was incredibly resourceful. She had rigged her apartment with homemade traps. Any zombie that broke in would be immobilized, then swiftly dealt with by her axe. The next morning, the two finally met. The man clutched his stomach. The girl asked if he was hungry. He nodded. She had food and tried to pass it to him using a baseball and a string, but the distance was too far. The ball fell to the ground. That's when the man's drone came to the rescue. He used it to fly the string directly to the girl. She tied it to a crate and slid it over to him. Inside were instant noodles, water, and energy snacks. He tore open the snacks and ate voraciously, nodding gratefully toward her as he chewed. But suddenly, disaster struck. A firefighter had turned into a zombie. It picked up the fallen string and traced it to the girl upstairs. The other end of the string was tied to a table. The girl rushed to untie it, but when she yanked hard, the table slammed into her, knocking her unconscious. The zombie began its climb upward.